Southern Utah is infested with gnomes. There was a user on TikTok that posted a video claiming that her and her husband and her family was going out in their backyard after moving here to Southern Utah. And suddenly the family all started seeing actual little gnomes with little hats, these little like creatures that were coming out of the rocks and running around in their backyard. And they actually started a little gifting process where they were leaving objects out in the backyard for this gnome. And then all of a sudden their whole TikTok disappeared, their videos disappeared, and I can't find them. So either the lady blocked me when I tried to reach out to her to try and offer my assistance to help research this whole phenomena, or she got a little bit spooked by the whole thing and decided to delete the account.
Have you seen the gnome sightings in Utah? This creator shared a story about her husband and her 13-year-old son seeing a gnome-like creature in their backyard in Utah. Her husband said he saw it climbing a neighbor's wall, while her son said that it was in the garden. So she decided to research ways to lure it out by giving it small pennies or a basketball. And sure enough, after a few days, she saw the pennies with a crystal now stacked on top of each other. This is her pointing out where they had seen the gnomes previously. They had also been spotted in this area, which is considered the garden. Now here's where things take a bit of a turn. The commenters were all like, girl, those aren't gnomes, those are duendes. Duendes are popular in Latin and Spanish folklore. They're like elves or like garden creatures.
I'm going to tell you about the time I was followed by a goblin. I always feel like a lunatic when I tell this story, and believe me, if I was hearing it for the first time, I'd be like, Jordan, you're a weirdo. But I had got up, I'd got dressed, I'd left the apartment, and then I came back up. I was awake. This happened. Although it didn't stop there. For weeks after, I thought I was being followed by something, again, that I can describe as a small goblin, like below knee height. I kept on seeing things like run past, and it doesn't matter where I was, like on a dog walk, like at home, going to work, anywhere. I'd always feel like there was something like small, like around me. At first I thought it was like cats because it was like below knee height. And then things started to like knock over and topple over, and I was losing things, and I was honestly thought I was going crazy. Like honestly, I was like, I'm seeing things are moving, I'm losing things and disappearing, I'm going crazy. Like honestly, experiencing anything like this, terrifying, because you're thinking, I'm doing this to myself. No, nothing. Of course a goblin isn't real. Of course it's not. Why is my brain doing this to me? That's what I felt like.
So let's talk about the whole legends of gnomes and what's real and what you should know about them, because here I am in southern Utah and I'm at this petroglyph spot. But did you know that St. George and most of this whole community from St. George, Washington out to Hurricane, the whole southern state of Utah, is built right over the top of an ancient petroglyph site. This is the community of St. George off of Dixie Drive, and right over here is right in the middle and built over top of all these ancient petroglyphs. And if you look at these ancient petroglyphs, they're full of these anthropomorphic symbols that look like portal symbols, strange entities and creatures and all kinds of stuff. But there's all these people and little strange figures that are upside down, coming down from the sky, going up, and they look like giant map systems. So let's talk about this. Right, so here's the community. Here is the mesa. This is all like downtown on the southwest side of St. George. And it's built right over the top in the middle of the town, these ancient, mystical, ritualistic petroglyph sites. So one of the things that may have spooked this family that was encountering these little gnomes running around in their backyard is everybody started making videos calling them the Duende. And the Duende are literally like little elves or trolls or gnomes that are like tricksters that will come and like take objects in your house. They'll be mischievous, and they might even prank you, and they're even responsible of some legends of like abductions. Just think of like over in Ireland, the stories of the fae, these little fairies or gnomes that come out of mushroom circles and things and encounter people like leprechauns, sort of. The best metaphor that I can give of this phenomena is the tradition of elf on the shelf. A lot of families now at Christmas time involve themselves in this kind of Christmas ritual now with the Duende, where they have this elf on the shelf. It's a little elf, a Christmas doll that they put in the house, and at night this little mischievous elf goes around the house and causes all kinds of problems. It makes a mess in the bathroom, it might spill water over things in the kitchen, and it's like having a little duende or like a little gnome running around in your house causing issues. And a lot of people are superstitious about the tradition of elf on the shelf, that it is actually inviting the true spirit of the duende or these little entities to come out of these parallel dimensions that are alongside of us, that hide in these environments, and they actually come out of these interdimensional portals and run around in your backyard. You guys know that I've done a lot of work with the Re-Indigenizing Minds project with Roger and Colleen, and they have helped me understand a lot of this interdimensional phenomena when it comes to gnomes, goblins, skinwalkers, star people, all kinds of stuff. And you guys know that I've actually gone up and worked with the crew at Skinwalker Ranch, and they have this scientifically recorded phenomena that they call the hitchhiker effect. And I'm telling you, all of this stuff is interrelated, and there is some truth to it. One of the last times that I went up to Skinwalker Ranch, I spent a lot of time working with Caleb Bench. And what we did was we went out with a Shoshone tribal member who was a park ranger and a guide for the reservation out there. And this Shoshone Native American elder actually took us out to the Valley of the Little People up by Skinwalker Ranch, which was an ancient pictograph and petroglyph canyon similar to this, that was the Valley of the Little People. We had all kinds of supernatural weather phenomena that occurred when we went out there. And this Native American Shoshone tribal member, he had us do an offering with pennies and sage and some of the herbs around in the environment. And we made an offering out there before we even approached the site. And when we got there, there was all these little tiny handprints all painted all over the cave wall or back in there on the mesa. And the whole valley back in there looked like all these boulders that looked like little tiny homes or hobbit huts and things like that. And they swore that this was a place for like gnomes or the little people. And I'm telling you, all of southern Utah and St. George is built right over top of this ancient history. And if you go along the borders out into Arizona and into New Mexico, there's actually dwelling sites where the huts and the homes and the windows and the doors are so tiny that you'd have to be like shorter than 3 feet tall to even fit inside. If you start experiencing any kind of this paranormal or strange mystical phenomena where you start seeing little gnomes and finding physical evidence of that, I just want to let you guys know that I'm actually qualified and a professional when it comes to researching this kind of stuff. I've been doing field expeditions all the way to Project Hesteland in Norway, up to Skinwalker Ranch, all over the place. And so if you're interested in this, you probably should join MUPAS Phase 2. It's a modular unidentified phenomena alert system study that we're doing with Dr. Jim Segala. It's affiliated with the legacy programs out of Skinwalker Ranch, and it's a real research program that we're achieving 5 Sigma data where we can actually prove evidence of all this stuff. And if you want help, if you're seeing gnomes, UFOs, aliens, strange paranormal activity, or having visions where you're having entities show up in your life, please follow me. Let me know in the DMs and maybe I can help you out.